Hi everyone, one of the very important aspects of investment is to make a financial plan. It is just like when you travel from one place to another, you have a destination in mind. Now there could be multiple ways to reach out to your destination. So you could take a car or travel via bus or train or flight. Again, if you travel via car, there could be multiple routes. But essentially, you need to have a destination in mind to reach somewhere. And that's exactly how you need to have a financial goal in mind. So let's say you want to retire in the next 20 years. Now obviously, if you have a job, you don't want to work for the rest of your life. By the way, retirement planning is a very important aspect of an individual. Now once you have a financial goal of retirement in mind, you would need to know an approximate amount for retirement. It could be 50 lakh or 1 crore or 2 crore or 5 crore, 10 crore or more. It need not be an exact amount but an approximate amount. And once you know the corpus you want to build in a fixed time, you could try to achieve it via multiple ways. For example, it could be via investment in stocks or mutual fund or bond or fixed income instrument or real estate and so on. And again, within stocks you can invest in large cap, mid cap and small cap. Within mutual fund, you can have a diversified portfolio across sectors and categories. So in this video, I want to discuss a very important financial goal for every individual. How to create a corpus of rupees 10 crore for retirement purpose. By the way, a corpus of rupees 10 crore might look like a huge amount today, but if we take an average inflation rate of 5% in India and assume that this 5% inflation would continue for the next 20 years, then rupees 10 crore today would be worth just rupees 3.76 crore in 20 years. So basically due to inflation at 5% rate in 20 years, the real value of 10 crore rupees would be almost 1/3. A lot of people neglect inflation in their financial planning, but you should always consider the real value of money after considering inflation. Now generally, when you search online about SIP calculators, you only get SIP calculators that tells you that if you invest, let's say rupees 10,000 per month in SIP and assume 12% return and you have a duration of let's say 5 year or 10 year, then you will generate let's say 10 lakh rupee. But in this video, I am going to take 3 cases where the final amount is fixed, that is rupees 10 crore. And I have created my own Excel calculators using simple function. Personally, these calculators help me set up a financial goal in my life and how much money I need to invest. Then for how long I need to invest and what is the return that I can expect. In case 1, you know your investment goal which is rupees 10 crore. You know the SIP amount and you know the investment duration. Now you want to know what is the return you need to fetch to achieve your goal of 10 crore rupees. In case 2, again you know your investment goal which is 10 crore, then you know the return you can fetch and you know the investment duration. Now you want to know what is the SIP you need to do to achieve your goal of 10 crore rupees. Then in case 3, again you know your investment goal which is 10 crore. Here you know the SIP amount and expected return you can fetch. Now here you want to know what is the time it will take to achieve your goal of 10 crore rupees. Alright, let's discuss these 3 cases using our Excel calculators. So in the first case, you know your investment goal, you know the SIP amount per month and you know the investment duration. And you want to know what is the annual return you would need to achieve your financial goal. So the investment goal is 10 crore rupees, let me enter that. And then your SIP amount, let's say you want to invest 50,000 a month. And let's say you want to invest for next 20 years. Now if you hit enter, you would need a return of 17.7% on a CAGR basis to achieve your corpus of 100 crore. Now obviously 17.7% is not easy to achieve. So either you need to increase your SIP amount or you need to increase your investment duration. So let's say here you are 30-year-old and you want to retire in next 20 years at the age of 50. In that case, if you make an SIP of 50,000, you would need 17.7%, which is difficult. So rather than let's say investing at the age of 30, what if you start early at the age of 25? In that case, if you start at the age of 25 and retire at the age of 50, you would need a rate of 12.7% to achieve your corpus of 10 crore with a SIP of 50,000. So just understand this. Such a huge impact it makes. If you start 5 years early, then instead of 17.7%, you just need a return of 12.7%, which is very much achievable. But let's say you are still 30 years age and you want to invest for only 20 years. If you want to make a corpus of 10 crore in 20 years, you need to increase your SIP. And let's say if you invest 75,000 per month, then you would need a return of 14.5%. Again, something which is not really impossible but difficult. So maybe if you make an SIP of 1 lakh a month, then you need a return of 12.3%, which is pretty much achievable. So basically in this case, we are trying to understand what is the return you would need to achieve a corpus of 10 crore. Now let's say if you have got more money to invest and let's say you make an SIP of 1,50,000, then you just need 9% CAGR rate to achieve a corpus of 10 crore. So in that case, you don't need to take too much risk, right? But let's just stick with 50,000. In that case, which is 17.7 is difficult. So let's say you increase your duration. So in this case, 12.7% is pretty much achievable. Of course, you can change your investment goal as well. So let's say instead of 10 crore, let's say you want to achieve a corpus of 5 crore. And in that case, let's say you want to invest for 20 years and make an SIP of 50,000, then you just need 12.3% return, which is pretty much achievable. So all you need to do is just need to play around with these numbers. By the way, I have used a function called rate function. So you can see here, this is a simple rate function that you can Google and you can calculate your own annual return. Now let's take case 2, which is your SIP value. So basically here you know your financial goal, which is 10 crore rupees. Here you know a rough annual CAGR return. So let's say 12%, 14% that you can achieve. And let's say you also know your investment duration and you want to know what is the SIP you need to make. So let's put those fields. Let's say you want to just same thing, the corpus of 10 crore, and let's say your average CAGR return you expect is 12%. So basically it is 1% on a monthly basis, and investment duration let's say is 20 years. In that case, you would need to make an SIP of 1 lakh rupee to achieve a corpus of 10 crore. Now let's say same case, instead of starting at the age of 30, let's say you start at the age of 25, you start a bit early, so you've got 25 years to invest. Now just look at the difference in SIP. You just need to invest 52,697 to achieve a corpus of 10 crore. So if you start 5 years early, instead of 1 lakh, you just need to make a SIP of 52,000. That's the difference it makes by starting early, right? Now let's say instead of 25, you just invest for 20 years, and instead of 12%, you expect a return of 13%. In that case, you need to make an SIP of 87,297. So this case basically helps you understand what is the amount you need to invest on a monthly basis to achieve your corpus of 10 crore. By the way, if you want to do this simple calculation, I have used a function called PMT. You can Google this function and you can figure out how to calculate this field. And then I have taken this third case, which is the duration. Here you know your financial goal, then you know your average yearly CAGR, and of course you know your SIP amount, and you want to know for how long you want to stay invested to achieve your goal. So let's put those fields. You want to make a corpus of 10 crore. You want, and let's say you assume a CAGR rate of 10% this time, and let's say you make an SIP of 30,000. So in that case, you have to stay invested for 403 months, which is around 33 years to achieve a corpus of 10 crore. Obviously, that's a pretty long period, and but let's say instead of 10%, you assume a return of 12%. In that case, you have to stay invested for 29 years. But let's say you instead of 12%, you expect 13% return, and let's say you invest you make an SIP of 50,000. In that case, you will achieve your corpus of 10 crore in 24 years. And let's say if you increase your SIP amount from 50,000 to 1 lakh, then you will achieve your corpus of 10 crore in 19 years. Now obviously you can play around with the financial goal, with your CAGR return and your SIP amount, and accordingly you will see for how long you have to stay invested. By the way, I have used a function called NPER to calculate the number, and you can Google this function and you will get how to calculate this field. So these are three simple functions I have used to calculate the time, to calculate the SIP amount, and to calculate the return to achieve a corpus of 10 crore. and you can play around and change your corpus, you can change the duration and time, and you can get all the required field. So in this video, we discussed the 3 cases to achieve a corpus of 10 crore rupees. The intention of this video was to give you a high level understanding of how to build a corpus of 10 crore for retirement planning. And as I mentioned, it is very important to have a high level financial plan so that you can make the right investment decision. A lot of people blindly invest without any goal in mind, but that is not the right approach, because when you don't have a financial goal in mind, there are high chances that you will end up making the wrong investment decision. And when you have a financial goal in mind, it gives you a clear direction about how to proceed to achieve those goals. In this video, we only discussed about the retirement goal, but you can create your own calculators and use it to set a direction for any financial goal. Be it your children's education, be it buying a home or a car, or be it achieving financial freedom. I hope you'll find this video useful. By the way, I have covered all these topics in my online course as well, where I have shown how to create simple Excel calculators along with all concepts including mutual funds and stock. I'll see you next video. Till then, take care.